Well, hello my friends and welcome back. This is Monsters of Folklore. Today we're going to be heading to Wisconsin to discuss a creature known as the Hodag. Now the Hodag is a folklore creature from Wisconsin. It is referred to as a very fearsome critter by the locals. Its history is focused mainly around the city of Rhinelander in northern Wisconsin, where it was said to have been discovered. In 1893, the local newspapers reported the discovery of a Hodag in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. It had the head of a toad, the face of an elephant, thick short legs set off by huge claws, and apparently the back of a dinosaur, but it doesn't really state what kind, and a long tail with spears at the end of it. While we're at the high note of this video, as I was reading off my little paper here, I had a gnat fly in my mouth and about choked me to death, so that happened. Anyway, let's get back to the video here. The reports were instigated by a well-known Wisconsin timber cruiser and prankster Eugene Shepard, who rounded up a group of local people to capture the animal. Now the group reported that they needed to use dynamite to kill the Hodag. A photograph of the remains of this charred beast was released to the media. It was the fiercest, strangest, most frightening monster ever to set razor-sharp claws on the earth. It became extinct though after its main food source, all white bulldogs, became scarce in the area. Shepard claimed to have captured another Hodag in 1896, and this one was captured alive. According to Shepard's reports, he and several bear wrestlers placed chloroform on the end of a long stick, which they worked into the cave of the creature where it was overcome. He displayed this Hodag at the county fair, and thousands of people came to see the Hodag at the fair, or they would go to Shepard's display in a shed at his house. Having connected wires to it, Shepard would occasionally move the creature, which would typically send the already skittish people fleeing the display because they thought it was coming, waking up. As newspapers locally, statewide, and then nationally began picking up the story of this apparent remarkable living creature, a small group of scientists from the Smithsonian Institute in Washington announced they would be traveling to Rhinelander to inspect the apparent discovery. Now their announcement spelled the end of Shepard's joke, and he was enforced to admit that the Hodag was a fake. In the aftermath of all this Hodag business, eventually the Hodag became the official symbol of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and it is the mascot of Rhinelander High School. It lends its name to numerous Rhinelander area businesses, organizations, and the Hodag also lends its name and image to the Hodag Country Festival. The City of Rhinelander's website calls Rhinelander the home of the Hodag. A larger-than-life fiberglass sculpture of the Hodag created by local artists is on display at the Rhinelander Area Chamber of Commerce, where it draws thousands of visitors each year. And you got to think about it. I guess if you're living back in the 1800s and somebody comes to you and says they found some bizarre creature, I guess you really wouldn't know what to believe, because you got to think about it. All they had back then was like the newspapers and things like that. You didn't have the internet, Photoshop and all that crazy stuff. You can make up things. So it probably was a little bit more believable back then. Like you could tell them you've seen anything and people would kind of believe you if you had some sort of evidence. Mr. Eugene Shepard here, I don't know if he was just trying to take advantage of people, but it said he was a prankster. So I'm just believing that it was just a big joke to him. He thought he could just, get a little bit of fame or money out of the deal or something like that. But the fact though that they kept the Hodag going, like even after all this time, that is very interesting. But I guess has anybody ever heard of the Hodag? Have you somehow magically seen one? Because you really don't know what's alive and what's not. Maybe he could have seen something. You never really know. That's just my opinion. And if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, give me your opinion of what you think of the Hodag. Does it sound remotely believable as like the cryptids do nowadays? Just give me your thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.